Guys, just hear me out on this one, okay? Just hear me out. What if, and this is just a fan concept idea, what if we got a crossover movie or comic book or some kind of TV show or video game featuring BeetleJuice and Ghostbusters? Now I know what you're thinking. One, that seems a little bit far-fetched for a BeetleJuice Ghostbusters crossover to happen. Two, BeetleJuice is owned by Warner Brothers and Ghostbusters is owned by Columbia Pictures. Now, you guys would be correct on both counts. But to be fair, this type of crossover actually makes a lot of sense when you think about it. Both Ghostbusters and BeetleJuice are supernatural comedies. They had sequels that came out afterwards. Okay, technically Ghostbusters had more sequels than BeetleJuice, but that's besides the point. Both franchises had animated series back in the 80s and 90s, and both of them became playable characters in Lego Dimensions. Now, I think an idea of a BeetleJuice Ghostbusters crossover can somewhat work. You can have Michael Keaton return as Beetlejuice, since he already proved himself that he still got it, thanks to him appearing in Beetlejuice. And you can still have Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, Ernie Hudson, Sigourney Weaver, if she's still around, and Annie Potts to reprise their roles. And you can even have the possible crossover be dedicated to Harold Ramis. Now, if a live-action crossover doesn't work, then maybe it could still be completely animated, either in 2D or CGI. Because I did mention that both BeetleJuice and Ghostbusters had their own cartoon shows back in the late 80s and early 90s. Heck, Minty Comedic Arts and Nostalgia Critic probably brought this up in some of their videos. But yeah, for me, even though Warner Brothers owns the rights to BeetleJuice and Columbia Pictures owning the rights to the Ghostbusters franchise, I still think that a possible crossover could work. Of course, that would mean that Warner Brothers will have to ask permission from Columbia Pictures if they can use the Ghostbusters as in their crossover project. Which I'm guessing which is always good to ask. And if not, then maybe it could be like a fan film. Which isn't a bad thing when you think about it. I mean, Egan Tilfman made a Scooby-Doo Five Nights at Freddy's crossover movie last year. And I still liked it. I just thought I'd use that as an example. But anyways, if you guys think a Ghostbusters BeetleJuice crossover can work, just let me know down in the comments below. And again, I know it's a bit slim. I know that the idea of a BeetleJuice Ghostbusters crossover is very slim and might not happen. But hey, you never know. A crossover between BeetleJuice and Ghostbusters still makes perfect sense, considering how they had several sequels, animated cartoons, and became playable characters in Lego Dimensions. The Jews will be loose again while busting makes them feel good. Sometimes I crack myself up. So let me know down in the comments below if you guys think a Ghostbusters BeetleJuice crossover can work. Because I'm telling you guys, even though this might not happen, I can still imagine this happening. And I'm sorry that I can't think of a plot for this. Oh well. Can't win them all.